This could be absolutely major news for the Lakers. A legitimate NBA center was shockingly bought out and is going to shake up the NBA free agent market, and he could fall into the Lakers' lap. We'll tell you who that is and if he could sign with the Lakers and if they should get him. That's coming up next on The Big Lead. What is up, and welcome to The Big Lead. My name is Doug McKain, credentialed member of the media. I've covered the Lakers and NBA and sports here in LA for over a decade, 24/7 sports, chat sports, Bleacher Report, SI. I also do sports radio for Westwood One. Today, though, this is The Big Lead. And if you're new to the channel, The Big Lead is all the hottest stories in sports. Also, an emphasis on the Los Angeles Lakers. I've covered the Lakers. I'm a lifelong fan, a bleeder of the purple and gold, and everything Lakers related. Every story, rumor, anything you're going to find Lakers-wise, you're going to find on this show. So Laker fans, definitely hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If you really want to support the show too, drop a comment and hit that like button. But we've got lots of Lakers talk to get into, so let's get right into it. And it came as a shocker today, but Shams Charania tweet out, breaking, Deandre Ayton is finalizing a contract buyout with the Portland Trailblazers to become a free agent, sources tell ESPN. Shams will go on to tweet, sudden addition to the free agent market. This gives Ayton, a former number one overall pick who went to the NBA Finals with the Suns, the chance to receive a fresh opportunity as the Trailblazers build around their depth of young centers. So Deandre Ayton has been a disappointment. Let's not sugarcoat it. But I see people out there saying he's a bust. He's not a bust. A bust is Anthony Bennett. A bust is Greg Oden. A bust is a guy that can either A, not make an NBA roster, not even get into double digits in points, rebounds, or is injured, right? Someone that has their career taken away from them because they just can't stay healthy. And yes, was Deandre Ayton a number one pick in 2018, first overall out of Arizona via the Bahamas, McDonald's All-American, Pac-12 Freshman Player of the Year, won a ton of awards, a lot of hype around him, but he's not a bust. He's not a bust. And let's look at the details of his contract. He is finalizing a contract buyout with the Trailblazers. It's going to make him an unrestricted free agent. He was entering the final year of his deal where he was set to take home $35.5 million. And he has decided to give back $14 million of that to bet on himself. So let's tell you, that's what this is. He is giving money back to the Blazers because he wants to bet on himself, get into a better situation, reset his market, and then hopefully get a bag after he proves himself with whatever team that he signs with. So next big question is, one, should the Lakers pursue him? And two, will he end up signing with LA? Does it make sense for him? Well, let's kind of look at where he's at. So last year with the Portland Trailblazers, he averaged 14.4 points per game, 10.2 rebounds. So just that right there, that stat line right there tells you that he's better than anything the Lakers had at the center spot after Anthony Davis was traded, and it's better than anyone they currently have on the roster. So even DeAndre Ayton, not at his full potential right now, is an upgrade to anything that the Lakers have on their front court. Any of those guys. He's also young. He's 26 years old, and his redemption arc could be in LA. And who's his agent? Who is his agent? Well, his agent happens to be the same agent as Luka Doncic. He's represented by Bill Duffy in the WME group. So I'm sure that will have somewhat of an influence on him. But I think you look at where he's at and how desperate the Lakers are. They essentially played their entire first round playoff series without a center, any viable big. And if they sign Ayton at the right price, it could go a long way to taking this team to another level. And I think that if I'm Deandre Ayton, the idea of going to the Lakers and all you got to do is be a lob threat, get rebounds, set screens. It's not like there's a ton of pressure on you. You could get those numbers up. You're going to be a team that's going to be playing on national television, and you're going to be a team that is going to have a lot of hype around it. So I think that if I'm DeAndre Ayton, I definitely think that the Lakers make all the sense in the world. If DeAndre Ayton isn't a Los Angeles Laker by 3 p.m. Pacific tomorrow, I'm going to be upset. I think it's got to be an easy decision for him. He'd get a prominent role on this team, play alongside Luka Doncic, even with LeBron in the fold and guys like that, Austin Reeves. This is a team that has enough opportunities from a scoring standpoint to give him the ability to show what he can do. So I think this is a no-brainer for him. I think it's a no-brainer for the organization. You do this deal all day, every day. I mean, think about this. He has all the incentive in the world to go out there and perform. The knock on Ayton has always been, does he have the buy-in? Is he motivated enough? Because we know he has the talent, right? There has been flashes there. There has been flashes from him all throughout his career. And the question is, can he just be that guy? Can he be that guy on a possession-by-possession, game-by-game basis that you can trust? So you really look at where they're at. You don't have to sign him to a big monster deal. You could let another team do that if he works out, and you could solve your center issues for next season. I mean, this would absolutely be humongous for the Lakers. It truly would. I see people saying he's a locker room cancer, that he's poison, this and that. Even if maybe that's who he is at his very core, we don't know that. I mean, you never know how these guys are truly operating. The truth is, you would get the best behaved, the most incentivized, the highest motivated version of DeAndre Ayton. I think that you look at, too, the allure of the Lakers, playing alongside LeBron James, Austin Reeves, and Luka Doncic, getting lobs left and right, having the highest shooting percentage field goal-wise of his career, reviving that reputation. He can go from a guy, this is what the narrative would be about DeAndre Ayton. It would be about, I'm not a first overall pick that was a bust. I was a guy that said, you know what, enough's enough in my career. 26, still prime years left, and I said to myself, enough is enough. I made a significant change. I bet on myself. I went to the Lakers. Numbers went up. Production went up. Now give me my bag. I changed my reputation in this league. We've seen it happen in the NBA. He is young enough to turn things around. If he was 30, 32, whatever it may be, I'm like, okay, whatever. He truly is what he is. And to a degree, he might still be, but there's enough there. And two, you look at the Lakers, you're in a desperate situation. So I think both these guys kind of need each other. The Lakers need DeAndre Ayton, and DeAndre Ayton needs the Lakers. And quite frankly, I think the Lakers need DeAndre Ayton more than the other way around, right? So hopefully he's going to sign for less. You take that buyout money, and then you bet on yourself, and it's just a really good situation because you got that buyout money. Remember that. Remember, he's got that buyout money that he took from them. So it's not like he has to live on this big contract or anything like that. So it's just about putting himself in the best situation. Like, my first thought when I saw this was, okay, like, do you really want this guy because of his history and then I kind of think about 1 year flyer. Think about the long-term possibilities of this. It could clean up all your cap issues because you're not paying a lot of money for any type of center that you would have to typically do if you're Lakers, whether it be a Clint Capella or whatever it may be, guys that are available on the market. You don't have to go that route. You bring him in, you got him and LeBron James, and then after next season, LeBron probably retires, he gets traded, whatever it may be, Ayton's off the books, and then you can truly build your roster around Luka Doncic. You get DeAndre Ayton, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, and Luka. You see what you can do with this team, and if it works out, great. You kind of consider the possibilities. But I think the best part about all this is it doesn't lock them in with a guy and a roster that maybe doesn't work around Luka, and then you're limited with what you can put around Luka in the future. I think that the priority right now for the Lakers has to be, how do we contend in this final years with LeBron James and what we have with Reeves and things like that? but then also you don't limit what you can do post LeBron. So I think this would be a move that you accomplish just that. So look, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, how no team was willing to take on his $35.6 million deal. Like I said, motivation's always been an issue, but he's 26 years old. I don't think he's maxed out on his ceiling. I would absolutely take him over Jackson Hayes in a heartbeat. I think anyone on this planet would. Just a more offensive game and the pain just outside of the lob. So give me Deandre Ayton in purple and gold. I think it makes sense for him, makes sense for the Lakers, and I absolutely think they should 100% get this deal done. Okay, so let's keep moving it here. Talk some more Lakers. Shams Charania, he reported that LeBron James opting into his $52.6 million deal for the 2025-2026 season, but he is evaluating his future. Here was Shams on LeBron.
5 p.m. today, the deadline for players or teams to exercise options. One of those players with the decision to make is LeBron James. What more can you tell us?
Phil, LeBron James is opting in to his nearly $53 million player option for the 2025-2026 season. So what we do know is he will be playing a record 23rd NBA season. Still not sure whether he's going to play one more season or he has multiple years left. But I'm told he wants to compete for a championship next season, and he is uncertain about the Lakers roster moving forward. And my understanding is James is supportive of the Lakers positioning themselves around Luka Doncic, building for the future. And Rich Paul told me this morning, the Clutch Sports CEO, that the Lakers have been true partners of his and LeBron James for 8 seasons while he's been there. But as we see right there, he also told me the franchise is going to do what's best for them. They understand that they have to do what's best for the long term. And this adds an interesting wrinkle here in free agency. LeBron James is evaluating how he wants to finish his career.
That is a lengthy statement there from Rich Paul. And we know Luka's eligible for a 4-year extension, August 2nd. So with what you've been told, that statement we've just read, what does it all mean for the Lakers and LeBron moving forward?
The Lakers' perspective is they're doing everything they can to build the team the right way, to try to compete for a championship. We know they're in the center market right now. So you look at centers like Brook Lopez, Clint Capella, Al Horford, all available in the market. They're also dealing with Dorian Finney-Smith. He's got a player option decision, $15.4 million player option. He also faces a deadline later today. So they're doing what they can, but LeBron James clearly is of the mindset that he wants to compete for a championship, and he's going to be monitoring very closely. Are the Lakers going to make the moves that puts them in position to seriously compete in that vaunted Western Conference? And then if not, where do those conversations go? That becomes a subplot of this offseason.
Lakers, the 4 seed last year in the West. LeBron turns 41 in December. A whole lot of numbers to digest and parse through it. Shams, thanks so much for the update. You're with us all morning on SportsCenter as we get more info on this.
So if you follow LeBron James's career, this shouldn't come as a surprise. He's someone that tries to maintain his leverage, keeps his options open, and wants to put himself in the best position to win a championship. I think that things did change a little bit with the Lakers, where he did win that championship in the bubble, but he was also raising his kids in L.A. Now you've got Bryce. He's going to Sierra Canyon. Then he goes to Arizona, and then you got Bronny James. Now he's on his team with the Lakers. That's complicated. He's got Zuri as well growing up in L.A. Savannah. They love living in Brentwood and enjoying this L.A. lifestyle, and he's in the entertainment industry. But I also think that he does want to find a way to chase another championship, and we'll see what he feels about this current iteration of the Lakers moving forward. Now, as much as Lakers fans kind of want to keep that dream of, oh, maybe he would take a pay cut, right? If he takes a pay cut, and maybe that would allow them to go after veterans like last year with James Harden and Klay Thompson. Those players aren't on the market this offseason. And yeah, if he takes a pay cut for a Nickeil Alexander-Walker type, that's not going to turn the Lakers into a title contender because of that move alone, right? I mean, it would set the franchise up to be in a better spot after he's gone, but that's just not how that works. So really, the focus now turns to the Lakers' next move and how that impacts LeBron James and how committed he is to this organization. Now, the team does have a couple of different ways they can improve their roster this offseason, and we've talked about them on this show. You've got some expiring contracts and guys that are on mid-sized deals that could be traded. You could move some of those guys. You got the Rui Hachimuras, the Austin Reeves. If you want to kind of swing bigger, we've talked about a potential Bam Adebayo type of deal that they could pursue. But they also have Dalton Connect, who is a prospect that a lot of teams would be interested in. You got some draft picks that you can trade, not a ton of them, but still got that 2031 first-round pick. And then there's Dorian Finney-Smith. So Dorian Finney-Smith, he opted out of his contract today. If he returns, the team's going to have the taxpayer mid-level exception. If he leaves, that's going to open up the full mid-level exception. So if he leaves, you get the full mid-level exception. Now, either way, there are some avenues. And the question is, how much pressure is there on the Lakers? And if things between the Lakers and LeBron James come to a head, does LeBron want to get traded, and what would that look like? Well, obviously, you're going to have people out there, including him, with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And the Cavs, they're the obvious choice, but they're not in the best situation to go after LeBron James, because if they did, then you would kind of gut that team of the depth that they do have. They're well over the second apron. They would need to do a salary dump to try to get him. And so it's a salary dump type of trade to aggregate the contracts in that deal. So that's what you would have to do to get LeBron. So would you really blow up your team for a couple years of 40-year-old LeBron? I mean, maybe the Cavs, he's just so beloved there, and you want to end his career on a good note in Cleveland and just kind of have those feelings so it doesn't feel like he left again. I mean, he starts there, comes back, and be the third time with the Cavs. So, I mean, I'm sure there's fans that would just love to see that just because of who he is. But as far as winning goes, if you're LeBron and the Cavs, is that the best angle to go and win another championship? I don't think it is. Now, as far as Miami, they're in a worse spot than the Lakers. That doesn't make any sense. Golden State, they're committed to Steph Curry, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler. And you would have to do a sign and trade with Jonathan Kuminga. That would be tough to execute. The most logical spot as far as how they could facilitate this easily would be Oklahoma City. Let's just be honest. I mean, they're coming off a title, a 68-win season, an MVP season for Shea, all that depth with Jalen Williams and Shea and Chet. You've got Sam Presti, just a great core there and a great organization. But would they want to blow up that future and stability in any way for LeBron James? And with LeBron, of all places, want to go to Oklahoma City? I mean, that would be a straight championship chase, because Oklahoma City, that's a very, very small market. Houston, that's an option. You could pair him with Kevin Durant. But I think that the Rockets, they're going to want to pursue the bigger fish as far as where they're at right now in their careers. That's for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Another obvious one would be Madison Square Garden, the Knicks. That's LeBron's favorite arena to play in, but the Knicks, they don't have a head coach right now. I mean, there's some talk that they're interested in women's coach Dawn Staley from South Carolina. That'd be pretty interesting. I mean, that would be a very game-changing, historic move right there. But bottom line, they don't have that coach in place. The Timberwolves, they just gave a lot of money to their front court. You saw the deal they gave to Naz Reid. So they're ineligible to be traded. Denver is in cap hell. They have no assets. So it's just this tough. I mean, you got the Clippers. The only tradable contracts the Sixers have don't really make a lot of sense. I mean, you got Paul George and Joel Embiid. So big hard pass on that. So LeBron's no trade clause that he has, he gets to pick the teams that the Lakers negotiate with. But it doesn't mean the Lakers have to agree to trade with said team. So, yes, it does give him leverage, but at the end of the day, the bottom line is the Lakers do not need to trade him, right? I mean, a gun to their head, they don't need to do it. And now you got new ownership and in the fold. They're going to be making smart decisions. They're not going to be acquiescing to LeBron James because he's LeBron James. They're going to do what's best for the Lakers, not what's best for LeBron. I'm sure they're going to help LeBron if it comes to that. They don't want to end on bad terms. They don't want to have some type of amicable exit, but still, I mean, I think that the next kind of chapter in all this, the next episode in all this is Rob Pelinka is going to have to call LeBron James's bluff. And I think that is what's going to have to come down to. How good is Rob's poker face? How good's LeBron's poker face? The Lakers, they clearly want to add a center to pair with Luka Doncic. That's the top priority as far as additions go. We just mentioned a possibility in DeAndre Ayton, but that's going to be for just this year. I mean, they trade for Mark Williams. That fell through. So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what LeBron James and his camp try to do. But I do think that the fact that LeBron James made a point to use his leverage going into this offseason, I think that kind of tells you everything you need to know about what his camp and Rich Paul and his group is trying to accomplish. They're saying, hey, we're going to keep you on your toes. We're going to find ways to keep things on our side, on the leverage side. So we'll kind of talk about this a little more. It's a pretty heavy topic for sure. But I mean, the truth is, I mean, Bron's continued to be a pretty successful, good player for this team. I mean, on his best day, he's still top 10 guy. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to kind of see where they're going to be at as far as kind of the whole LeBron James. I mean, if LeBron James leaves the Lakers, I mean, that would kind of open some things up as far as kind of resetting the franchise, because he has had a lot of power over the franchise. So I don't necessarily think that this is going to end this summer. But, I mean, if he does go to Cleveland, that would be, that would be fit for a nice feel-good story. I mean, you got $52 million going to LeBron. The Lakers, if they're not championship contenders, a lot of Lakers fans wanted him to opt out. So is it going to be a wasted year? And I don't see anyone trading for LeBron at $52 million unless there's certain agreements that are made. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't think, for me, if you're a lifelong fan of this organization, you kind of want to see them kind of get to that next chapter and start that rebuild a little bit. But I also think, too, that there is a world where you start this season, you could see how they play early on and possibly go from there. But, yeah, I mean, the LeBron conversation is pretty interesting. I mean, it's just there's so much weight there. There's so much weight there for him. He's not like in the Magic, Kobe kind of tier where it's like, okay, these are career Lakers, right? There's always kind of an added conversation with him. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode of The Big Lead. DeAndre Ayton, I think he's got to become a Laker, and we're gonna talk more LeBron James tomorrow, though. So be on the lookout for that. All Lakers all summer. We're also gonna be doing some episodes on the draft and guys they brought in. So yeah, keep it locked here on The Big Lead. But no surprise with LeBron. It's what we expected. And if he doesn't want to retire after this upcoming season, hey, go ahead and play with another team, but stay away from the Lakers. Really, I mean, if he wants to get traded this season, I think that it could work out for the Lakers in the long run. I really do think that. But we need to remember that if LeBron James opted out and agreed to sign for the NBA minimum contract, the Lakers would still be barely under the cap. So it's complicated. We'll get into it tomorrow, but that's going to do it for The Big Lead. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. And until next time, I'm out.